So Bhakti Yoga is also known as the yoga of love and devotion, and it is one of the 4 paths to spiritual liberation as described in the Bhagavad Gita. It's known as the easiest path to liberation. And when we practice Bhakti, all the practices of Bhakti Yoga basically aim to evoke divine remembrance. To remember that which is most true within you, within us, this greater shared being that's essentially the same. There's a fundamental sameness. And that can have a lot of different words depending on who you are. So I always like to try to make Bhakti as accessible as possible to people because it really is, truly is a universal practice. From the work that I've done in referencing learning with other teachers that are actually from lineages from India, that any tradition that is practicing this remembrance of this love, sameness, universal energy that we all are, is practicing Bhakti Yoga. So it really is a universal practice, and for some people, the word you might use might be God. We're remembering God as much as possible. Maybe it's the divine or the sacred. Maybe it's love. Maybe for you, the word love is more resonant. Or life source energy, the universe, true nature, Buddha nature, the self. It's really endless, the words that we can put to it. But it's this experience of our shared being. So when we chant kirtan, we're chanting, most traditionally, we're chanting Hindu deity names, but it's really important to know that all of these names are just pointing to the same inner divinity within us. So even though it is important to kind of understand the cultural context, so that we're not appropriating and we're practicing with integrity, it's also really true that the aim of the practice is to evoke the divinity within, to experience it as you, to realize that it is in all of us, and that sameness. And so all of these words are just pointing to that. So you don't have to understand exactly what you're saying. We'll talk about that a little bit, but the words, the names, they're called the holy names, but they reveal their meaning as you chant them, because they are evoking your own true nature. So I'm going to actually start with a song that's not a traditional Bhakti song. It's a song by a Swedish artist known as Fia. Some people may have heard of her, but it's on your sheet. It's on the back, and it's song number 3. But I wanted to start with this song because it's in English, and it really encompasses what Bhakti is at its essence, making it relatable for Westerners. So the words at the very beginning, I empty myself over again, nothing to be or to achieve. So this is really what we're doing when we're chanting the names. It's a purification process. What does that mean? We're purifying the mind. All it means is that we're letting go of this other stuff that's in our mental space, right? That's there all the time, kind of covering up what's already here, this sacredness that's already here all the time. So we're emptying all of that out, and chanting is one way that we do that. There's lots of ways that we can do that, but chanting is one way. And just by focusing our energy and our attention on the mantra, on the holy name, this other stuff kind of naturally falls away, and then we are able to get more in touch with this space of our being, right? So we're emptying out this other stuff. And there's nothing to be or to achieve, because all that stuff is wrapped up in that, right? Like all of the stories and judgments and what we have to do next, and all of that is wrapped up in what we think we need to do or who we need to be, or, inner conflict that we have. And so letting go of that is really this space of there's nothing for me to be in particular. There's nothing to do or achieve. Like, I'm it already. We're already it. It's right here, right? Simple, beautiful clarity. That's what arises in that space. I lay down my sword at your feet. That's surrender. That's letting go. That's bhakti. And then, spirit, move me. Where would you have me go? This is where bhakti practice goes into embodiment. You know, how do we realize who we are, and then we allow it to move us and inform the way that we live in this world of time and space.